Coming up in all angles, fear and frustration. It's the community spread phase of COVID-19.
We went through the data, did the analysis, and based on what we were seeing, this was in fact suggesting that we are in fact going into community transmission.
Over 5,000 cases and 76 deaths. We hear from those feeling it the most.
Thank you so much for joining us for another edition of All Angles. I'm Dion Jax Miller, and as always, welcome to our viewers on onespotmedia.com. Remember, our hashtag is TVJ All Angles. Well, with COVID numbers spiking and with community spread now taking place, it's time for us to return to looking at the COVID situation. Now, the last time we spoke to a Jamaican who had been dealing with COVID was when we spoke to a Jamaican in Italy, when Italy was going through a case of very high numbers. But joining me in this segment of the program to talk about his experience, we have Councillor Christopher Williams of the Santa Cruz Division in St. Elizabeth. Thank you so much for talking to us, Councillor. We appreciate it.
You're welcome, dear. Thank you.
So you are one of the people apparently who didn't have a light brush with COVID. It sounds like it's affected you pretty badly. Let's start at the beginning. At what point did you realize you were ill?
Yes, I got a horrible experience. It started on the 24th of August. Early that Monday morning, it started out with a terrible belly ache. It was that bad that I was actually on the floor rolling because I cannot believe, I've never felt this type of belly before. It further continued, and then the terrible headache started. I am somebody who is bothered by migraine, and I must tell you, not even the Panadol Ultra that normally worked in 5 minutes could assist me at that time. Soon after that, and this is still the Monday morning, soon after that, it was the vomiting, the diarrhea, and that continues until about sometime after 9. I went to the doctor Monday sometime after 10, and I explained to him the situation, and he said to me that it was viral gastroenteritis. I got a prescription to fill at the pharmacy, and that was done. I went home, and I still was very uncomfortable. There was a feeling inside that was, very, very uncomfortable, and the diarrhea continues. As a matter of fact, I had that diarrhea for 4 days, and it went into the Monday night, and that was when the fever started.
So this is what,
Very
1 week?
fever.
This is 1 week now?
No, man, that was just the same day.
Or the
Started
same
24th.
Monday?
All of these symptoms were on the same day
Okay.
that I am describing right now.
Okay.
And the fever, the Monday night, into the Tuesday morning. And this was when I became concerned, because I'm saying, oh, this cannot be a viral gastroenteritis, and I am feeling this way. So my mom lives abroad, so I contacted her, and I was outlining to her, what was happening and what the doctor said. And she basically said to me, Chris, the health facility where I work, those symptoms that you are describing, that sounds like COVID to me. You need to go and get yourself tested. And I was telling her that, I don't really think that is so. And she said, just go and get tested. And my brother took me, I called the health department, and the necessary arrangements were made. for me to go to the Santa Cruz Health Center to do the test, and that was a Tuesday. I went into isolation from then. I'm calling that isolation because doing the test, I was now thinking that I must do everything in my power to protect everybody at my home, because I already was aware of the, how severe and dangerous this virus can be. So I locked myself away from the rest of the family. And, the symptoms continued. I started having the dry cough, and that was actually terrible. That was basically, as if it was destroying your stomach. The chest area was hurting whenever I cough. And the sore throat came along the Wednesday, and I must tell you that this is the one that caused me to cry. I cried 2 days because of the sore throat.
Cry eye
it was
water.
that. I'm telling you, I cried eye water because it was that serious. And the thing about it, the sore throat actually prevents you from actually, eating. And I also lost my appetite from the Tuesday. So for 12 days, I wasn't able to eat any food at all. I could only drink, fluid coconut water, Gatorade and those stuff, and tea. I drank a lot of tea because you heard a lot of persons saying that tea is you must drink a lot of tea and all that. So the sore throat, the loss of appetite was for basically 12 days. And I must say, I weighed before COVID, I weighed 188 pounds. And after COVID, I weighed 168. So it was that bad.
How long did it take before you started feeling better? So from the Monday when you got sick, and then you say you were having the fever, you said the cough, the sore throat, how long did the very bad symptoms continue?
The symptoms continued. For example, the dry cough lasted for maybe 15 days. That was the longest of all the symptoms. The sore throat lasted for about 10. The belly ache, that was for 2 days. The headache just for a day. And the fever was just for the Monday night into the Tuesday morning. The diarrhea, as I mentioned earlier, that lasted for 4 days. But it was brilliant days, difficult time during this period, because being by yourself, and you don't have anybody to basically, because when you are sick, you'd want to be with somebody to take care of you. And I didn't really have that, because everybody will had to be protecting themselves from me. So if I want something, I would have to call or text my brother, and they would put it on a chair outside of my door, and send a text message or ring my phone or shout out, it is on the chair. Wow. And then I would take it up.
Did they know at the time how difficult it was for you? For instance, had they heard you crying? Did they know about how painful the headache and the sore throat were?
What happened, I was alone at home during the days. And that was when I did most of the crying during the days. So everybody left for work. So I was alone. But I basically, explained to my mom, because she called regularly, and my sister. So, I explained to them what was happening. And, but I couldn't expect any help from those at home, because I must say this is a very lonely illness. You are by yourself. And that just brings me to the point to mention dating. Dating was awful, because on this day was when I actually felt that I was, as if I was becoming insane. I felt crazy. I I just started, throwing the things around in my room, just as if I was mad. It just got to me mentally, affected me
When you say
psychologically.
it got to you, was that a loneliness or fear of what was happening to you physically?
It was everything, all of those components, all of those together. The loneliness, being by yourself, nobody will come near you, nobody can come near you. Also, the whole thought of before I got the result, the thought of it's a possibility that you might have this, and
When did you
also
get
after
the
you got the
positive
result,
result? When did you realize you were positive?
I did the test. I did the test the Tuesday, and the positive result came the Sunday. And I must say that was devastating. That was something that I didn't want to hear, because following all the reports, internationally and also locally, and you hear about this deadly virus, you want to ensure that you are protected. And so when I heard that news, I was devastated.
Before you
I
got
couldn't
sick,
believe.
Counselor, had you been taking it seriously? I mean, did you think this COVID thing was as serious as people are saying?
I must say, and I'm happy you asked that question, because a lot of persons, when they heard that I was tested positive, they call, they text, but Chris, how you got coronavirus and you're always wearing a mask, you're always sanitizing, you're always encouraging other persons to do so. As a matter of fact, anybody who came into my car during that period of time, there's a mask there, a surgical mask there for them to put on, and sanitizer for them to sanitize. So I when COVID just started in Jamaica, I just was the first case. After the first case, I got quite a number of cloth masks made just to distribute to persons in my division, and also some businesses in Santa Cruz. I went and I distributed to workers there.
Okay.
I distributed to the Lakoga police station.
Okay, so
I took it.
you're saying in other words you were taking it seriously. So
I took it very seriously.
how old are you, Counselor?
I am 39.
39. And do you have, as they say, underlying conditions or comorbidities?
No, I don't have anything. The last time I checked, I am okay. I don't have any.
So you're one of the people never thought would get it then? People look for you and say, boy, you're young, you're healthy, you don't have any underlying conditions, you not get COVID.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was told that anybody could get it, whether you have the underlying conditions or not. If you don't follow the guidelines,
Yeah.
you don't wear your mask, if you don't sanitize, if you don't wash your hands with soap and water,
And
you
did all of that and you still got it.
And to tell you the truth, Nadia, I actually think I have an idea of where I picked up this virus, and I try to explain to a number of persons that, you see, sometimes you're in some environment and you have the view that this is where you're comfortable. This is your safe place. And that idea of putting the mask under your chin when you're in some environment, it is very dangerous. And I strongly believe that is how I caught the virus, because it was after that I was made aware that somebody was actually ill who I was in the same place with for a period of time, or for some period of time.
That was like a social, a small intimate social occasion or something like that?
It wasn't a social occasion. It was just somebody who I have dialogue with frequently, and it just happened that because of business, I would be in that particular environment with that person who was seeing symptoms, but quite a number of persons, you know, in Jamaica. And I think this is because of the stigma that is associated with COVID-19. They are seeing symptoms, and you know, they are scared to even get tested because of what persons might say if they are tested positive, or what might happen, the scarn, because a lot of persons are afraid of that right now. And I think, you know, that was the situation there.
All right, Councillor, can I ask you to hold on? We have to take a break. You're watching All Angles. We're looking at COVID this evening, and you've been hearing from Councillor Williams of Santa Cruz, who has been recovering from COVID-19. Stay tuned. We'll be back with him and our other guests right after the break.